organization that would formulate what we know today as the NAACP. Throughout its history, it's had a strong concern for voters' rights and education.
It's a leadership advocacy group in the sense that what we try to do is empower Arab Americans and train Arab Americans to work primarily in the electoral and political systems of the United States.
This is the main mission of Islamic House of Wisdom, education about Islam.
Ada beberapa lembaga swadaya masyarakat yang memberdayakan golongan minoritas di Amerika, khususnya dalam bidang pendidikan politik dan pelaksanaan hak pilih rakyat. Asosiasi Nasional untuk Memajukan Kulit Berwarna atau NAACP berdiri tahun 1909. Pembentukan organisasi ini didorong oleh keinginan rakyat Amerika keturunan Afrika untuk mendapatkan hak-hak yang sama dengan mereka yang berkulit putih. Nenek moyang warga berkulit hitam ini dibawa secara paksa memasuki Amerika untuk dijadikan budak-budak di perkebunan atau pelayan-pelayan di rumah pribadi.
It's a civil rights organization that was born here in the United States in 1909. It grew out of the necessity to fight for the rights of African Americans. Throughout its history, it's had a strong concern for voters' rights and education, mobilization, to fight against police brutality and abuse of their authority, also to make sure that African Americans are represented in the political process.
Bagaimana NAACP menyalurkan aspirasi politik warga negara Amerika yang berkulit hitam?
We have, throughout our history, had voter mobilization drives, registering people to vote, setting up offices throughout the South and the North, pushing forth the laws, the Voting Rights Act of the 60s. Here in Detroit, we have what we call Take Your Souls to the Polls. It's a program whereby we go to house, mobilize young people, older folk, the elders, to come out and to vote. We sign them up, we bring them to the polls, we have educational forums on issues and individuals. We do that in various parts of the country. We're doing internet voting now, using the internet because most of our young people are on the internet. I mean, they're surfing it all the time. Let them surf to the voting booth as well.
Selain NAACP yang memberdayakan pemilih keturunan Afrika, juga ada lembaga swadaya masyarakat yang memberdayakan warga keturunan Arab. Institut Arab Amerika atau AAI melatih warga Amerika keturunan Arab yang ingin menjadi kandidat pejabat publik atau bekerja sebagai anggota tim kampanye politik.
So Arab Americans today are 3 to 4% of the voting population in some very key states, particularly Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Florida, Illinois, and Michigan, and could be in California depending on how mobilized they are. So that's a very significant percentage of the votes in those key states, because as you know, the last time President Bush did not win the majority of the votes, but he won a majority of the Electoral College, which shows how important it is to have certain key states.
Namun, Abi Nader melihat kecenderungan menurunnya dukungan terhadap Presiden Bush dalam pemilihan tahun 2004. Menurut poll pendapat oleh Institut Arab Amerika yang dipublikasikan bulan Juli tahun 2003, hanya 33,8% dari total warga keturunan Arab yang memilih Presiden George W. Bush dibandingkan 45,5% suara yang memilihnya di tahun 2000. Sebanyak 83% warga Arab Amerika menyukai kinerja Presiden Bush pada bulan Oktober 2001. Namun, jumlah simpatisan Bush menurun menjadi 43% pada bulan Juli 2003.
Yes, I think very clearly Arab Americans are very unhappy with President Bush's policies, not only in the Middle East with regard to the Palestinians and with regard to Iraq, but also very unhappy with the civil liberties issues here at home, whether it's immigrations, visas, secret detentions, secret trials. All of these have made the Arab Americans very uncomfortable with this administration.
Institut Arab Amerika menggunakan isu-isu kebebasan sipil dan dampak dari Undang-Undang Patriot sebagai basis untuk menggalang koalisi Arab Amerika di dalam pemilihan presiden tahun ini.
We're very concerned about the visa and immigration policy. As you know, they had many programs directed at Arab and Muslim men who are coming to this country, who are already in this country, the NSEERS program, which is a big concern for us. We now have 13,000 people who are being deported because for nothing else except their visa violations. There's selective law enforcement going on here because there are over 8 million undocumented immigrants to this country. So why are they starting with Muslims and Arabs? It's because of what happened on 9/11. So that we have the visa and immigration issues, we have the Patriot Act issues, which are privacy and information issues. So there are lots of these issues that we're working on, and we find that it's these issues that we share most broadly with Americans.
Dampak dari peristiwa 11 September juga dirasakan oleh golongan Muslim Amerika di negara bagian Michigan. Negara bagian ini merupakan tempat tinggal bagi warga keturunan Arab terbesar di dunia di luar Timur Tengah. Menurut Imam Muhammad Ali Ilahi yang memimpin Masjid Islamic House of Wisdom, dampak peristiwa 11 September justru memiliki hikmah positif.
After 9/11, there has been a more serious curiosity in American society to know more about Islam and the Muslims. Because of the negativity, sometimes people ask even very basic things that it's very simple for a Muslim, but for them it is a serious matter.
Lalu, bagaimana sang imam mendidik umatnya agar memilih kandidat presiden yang mewakili aspirasi Muslim Amerika?
We always, as part of my Friday prayer, we encourage our people to participate, to be a part of social life, a part of political life in the United States. There are limited options when it comes to elections, especially presidential elections. We educate the community to study the options, study the candidates, study their agenda and the issues and other matters that they are related to the Islamic Ummah, to the Muslim world.
Baik Masjid Islamic House of Wisdom maupun Institut Arab Amerika menyuarakan aspirasi komunitasnya melalui publikasi buletin-buletin, televisi komunitas, dan situs internetnya.
I think if you look at two of our publications that are on our website, one is called the Scorecard, and the Scorecard looks at members of Congress, and it says, in the last session of Congress, these 10 issues were important to Arab Americans. Here's how the senators voted on them, here's how the members of the House of Representatives voted on them. Then we also have a voter's guide on the presidential candidates, which says, in terms of 4 categories, Israel-Palestine, immigration, civil liberties, and overall U.S.-Arab relations, what the positions of the candidates are.
Di dalam segmen berikutnya, Anda bisa saksikan peran media televisi dalam memberdayakan para pemilih. Tentunya setelah yang satu ini.